Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm going to straighten up that screen and welcome you. I want to thank all the channel members. I thank you so much for believing in the channel. Thank you for stopping by. Anyone who's watching the video, if you're so inclined and you like EDC content, if you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon, it would really help me out. Today, I wanted to talk about a modern folder, a slip joint, that I find to be a fantastic value that I really, really like. It's one of my top modern slip joints, and it's the TwoSun TS90. So the TwoSun TS90, I think, is a night morning design, and it is titanium. It's a titanium slip joint. I don't know if you can see the milling there. Has a nice spring that also encapsulates this area for a lanyard here, if you want a lanyard. And then it's got this super, super nice reverse Tonto uh, belt satin M390 blade that's probably 3/4 flat with a nice stonewash blade nick here, or nail nick, what you would use to open the knife with, even though I just grabbed the blade. But this knife came very, very sharp. So even though it's a chunkier knife, it is very sharp. Guys, the spring on this is done very well. You've got the stop pin, or this body pin that this flat is what comes into contact with, so you're not giving yourself any blade wrap by hitting the blade on that back spring. You've got this really, like I said, nice satin blade, and you've got a really nice sharpening choil right here into the blade. You can see where the plunge grind comes down. But the spring on this knife is very strong, which is, i.e., stiff. That's not a problem because you do have this really nice swedge here. So when I pull it, I'm going to give that probably a 6, maybe a 7, 6, 6, 7, and a 6. So what that translates to me is a very, very stable knife in my hand. I don't have a fear when I'm using this knife of it closing. Keep in mind, I'm consciously aware that it's a slip joint. I know it's not a locking knife. However, for the type of things I'm going to be using it for, opening packages, cutting fruit, cutting food, God, processing whatever, I know this knife's going to stand up to it. It's going to do it very well. The other thing I look for is fit and finish in slip joints, how all the components come together, how they interact when they're at half stop, is there displacement, how it snaps together. And guys, I can tell you my specimen of this knife that I picked up from White Mountain Knives, and I'll tell you how much they are in a second. And they are still in stock when I recorded this video. I'll put a link to it in my description. Again, I don't have affiliation link or anything like that. All I do is was nice. Justin was nice enough to give me a Javon 10 code to pass along to you guys. All that does is get y'all 10% off if you go to checkout if you use it, and it lets him know that people are watching my videos and using the code. So that's really all that is. And hopefully you guys, if you find something at White Mountain, you will use my code, even if it's not this knife. But when I link the knives that I'm showing you guys in the videos, it's because that's where I got it. So you'll see links from DLT Trading. You'll see links from White Mountain Knives. It's just where I picked up the knife, right? I buy knives mainly from White Mountain Knives, but I buy them from Amazon, I buy them from DLT, I buy them from GP Knives, the list goes on. Try not to buy them from a couple of retailers, but that's because of things. If you go read through my videos, you will see I've had experiences with some that were less than ideal. This is an ideal situation in terms of the retailer being White Mountain Knives, the value of this knife, what I anticipate as value for the dollar. This knife is $89. So that's not cheap by any means. In my humble opinion, it does kind of fall in the range of the under $100, which to me is kind of a budget knife. And when I say a budget, it's soft on my budget. I can plan to buy a knife like this. I can sizzle it, and it's a good knife. I feel like I'm getting more than $89 worth of value in this knife. With that being said, let's do a couple of size comparisons and then we'll compare it to some other modern slip joints. But I always like to give you guys the bug out comparison because almost everyone is familiar with the size of the Benchmade bug out. And when we do a bug out comparison, or the bug out's bigger than what we're looking at, instead of using a Spyderco Paramilitary 2, we bring out the mini bug out. So you can see that this TwoSun TS90 is just a little bit bigger than the mini bug out and about a ½ inch smaller than the bug out. So if we wanted to look at this next to some, let's say, other premium slip joints, we can look at it next to the Jack Wolf Feel Good Jack and the Viper Knives Twin. This knife is in carbon fiber S90V, micarta titanium M390. And let's look at it next to the Ohio River Jack, which is also M390 in titanium. Right around the same size. The T90 is just a little bit bigger. And then the QSP Hedgehog. So let's break out Javon's tape measure, the promotional tape measure that has a sticker on it. And that'll tell us that this knife is right under 7 inches. The blade is 3 inches with a cutting edge of 2 3/4 and a handle of right at 4 inches. I think I already told you guys that. But it is a thicker blade stock. So behind the spine here, we're at 0.1440. 0.1425. Yeah, right in there. I won't do the behind the edge measurement because you guys know how good I am at that. But there is no weight relief on these titanium scales. So this knife is not light, but it's not heavy. I carry it all the time. It's 3.2 ounces. I carry it just in this little plain slip, 3.7 ounces. So yeah, guys, that is the TwoSun TS90. It's a slip joint, but it's a modern slip joint. It's one that I really like a lot. It's a night morning design. I'll put a link down in the description where you can look at this knife, and if it's not available, you can put your email address in there and they'll let you know when it comes back in stock. That's one thing I love about White Mountain Knives is they re-up on their TwoSun inventory quite often and all their inventory. You won't necessarily see it in the new arrival section, so it's always good. I at least do. I put my email address in on models that I'm interested in and go from there. But guys, I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. Everybody have a fantastic day. Please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for one another. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.